everywhere. And he holds an MBA in shipping business and PhD law and PhD in law in politics. Dr. Khalaf Kaabi is entered politics when he was so young in Iran, and then he was also targeted by the regime. So he left Iran, and he lives now in London. So I leave the floor to Dr. Khalaf to speak about the Ahwazi, let's say, quest for freedom and justice. Thank you, Dr. Khalaf.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manal. Many thanks for Dr. Mordechai and Lena, and thanks a lot to Precious. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hope all of you are keeping well and safe. God Almighty blesses all of our efforts. God, Allah, commands us to be kind and to love others and to stay away from hatred and differences. I would like to take the opportunity to thank you for your participation in this webinar, which is going to shed light on the regime of Iran's conspiracies against the entire Middle East and beyond. I am immensely happy to see things are changing, and we and our Israeli brothers getting closer to each other. This fraternal relationship would enable all of us to build a peaceful world for our next generation and secure a sustainable peace in the Middle East and other parts of the world. We are here to condemn the regime of Iran for struggling to acquire nuclear weapon, and that is one of their deadly objectives, which is against the regional and international stability. The nuclear reactors in Bushehr and Dur Khawayn poses a great danger to the safety of the Ahwazi people and the entire Arabian Gulf. The regime had tested different types of deadly weapons on the Ahwazi soil. We have fear, and it is possible that the regime will use these weapons against our Ahwazi people and the entire region. From this standpoint, we demand the international community to pressure the regime of Iran to stop its nuclear activity in Bushehr and Dur Khawayn reactors and other facilities as well. As you know, the regime of Iran is not qualified to maintain the security of such complicated and sophisticated technology and facilities, even if it is peaceful. Secondly, we are aware and certain that the Iranian regime is working on developing nuclear weapons. Hence, the region is getting into a dangerous nuclear race, which is going to be catastrophic. Thus, it is on the International Nuclear Agency to take the necessary steps against the regime of Iran before signing the nuclear deal with the filthy regime of Iran. The filthy Iranian regime seeks complete control over the Middle East, countries and peoples of the region. Therefore, the regime deployed their terrorist militias in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Lebanon, and Gaza to destabilize the entire region and other parts of the Middle East. The government of the region should take all the necessary measures against the arrogant mullahs regime in order to end the conspiracies against the people forever. We have mentioned this over and over again, that the illegal Iranian regime has destructive goals for the entire region. So we ask our Arab and Israeli brothers to stand by our side and work on clear strategies that enables us to reduce the pressures on the Ahwazi people who are suffering from injustice, prison, torture, and the indiscriminate executions. As you are fully aware that the backward and brutal regime of Iran is persecuting our Ahwazi people, Baluchis and South Azerbaijanis, and Kurds on regular basis. Thus, it is on the UN and the regional governments to take the necessary stance against the regime's nuclear ambition before it is too late. As you know, that the Iranian regime is trying to change all the equations in its favor, hence to control of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, and to spread strife and hatred among the peoples to complete its destructive projects in the Middle East. Imagine such a regime possessing a nuclear weapon. What should be done if the mullahs of Tehran were able to acquire nuclear weapons? And what would be the danger to the nations of the Middle East and the entire world? Without doubt, the situation will be catastrophic. We see how the mullahs deal with the nations now and what it would be like if they obtained a nuclear weapon. Therefore, we insist on stopping the Iranian nuclear program, which poses a threat to the entire world. We had a lengthy discussion with a few Arabian countries decades ago that the regime of Iran would pose a threat to peace and security in the Middle East in general, and Arabian Gulf in particular, and would spread its militias in different parts of the Middle East. But the response was illogical and that not based on security strategies. Today, we see how dangerous this extremist regime is, which wants to destabilize the region and the entire world. We must tell the truth that our brothers in Israel took action against this arrogant regime and also supported the oppressed Ahwazi people whose land and rights were stolen from them. Also, the support of the Baluchis and Azeris and the Kurds was a clear political qualitative move. This support changed all equations in the region in favor of the oppressed peoples. We, the Arab Struggle Movement for the Liberation of Al-Ahwaz, work according to the international law, but the Iranian regime fabricates all the facts in its favor in Al-Ahwaz and abroad to strike the movement and to prevent us from educating our Ahwazi people to know their legal rights. Our oppressed Ahwazi people who are suffering from thousands of difficulties and the crimes wish to be part of the international community. Our Ahwazi people who is supposed to be the richest nation of the Middle East live on less than $50 a day. 90% of the Ahwazi people live below the poverty line. Ahwazi wealth are spent on terrorism and their militias in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and Lebanon and Gaza. Excuse me. The Ahwazi people are known for their generosity and hospitality, loving life, love poetry and arts. These people can create an integrated economic climate that benefits the people of the Middle East and the whole world. We aspire to have a roof over all Ahwazis and a decent life. The people who should contribute to building a classy society have been deprived of their primitive rights. Add to all problems, the criminal regime is trying to displace us from the lands of our fathers and forefathers and the places it with non-Ahwazi people in order to change the demographic system. Excuse me. Today we have a style and discourse that opens to all nations of the world, and that at the same time we have people who understand the political and social situation in the region and beyond. Therefore, giving our people the opportunity to rise would be for the benefit of the peoples and countries of the region, to build bridges of cooperation between different countries. Of course, Al-Ahwaz will be the starting point for many countries in the region, especially the countries that supported the Ahwazi people in distress. We will not forget the people, nor the countries who support our legitimate demands. According to international law, and economic privileges will be given to the parties that support us today to liberate our people from the ongoing brutal and illegal occupation. You know the situation very well. You know the mullahs very well. And I think the European countries or our European counterparts fully aware that the mullahs regime is no more trying to understand the legal systems of the European systems or the American systems or any other one in the world. They are just moving one line. Imagine the elected and non-elected president, Ibrahim Raisi, who killed thousands of people, in different parts of Iranian map, I can say, especially in Al-Ahwaz or Balochistan or Azerbaijan and Kurdistan. He has killed more than 5,000 innocent people. How I don't know how European countries are going to deal with this issue and deal with this man, or meet their, foreign minister who is not an educated person, who doesn't understand how to communicate politically or logically with the governments or his counterparts in Europe or any other parts of the world. This surprises me anyway, which we are requesting our European friends, European brothers and sisters, to take this seriously and understand the situation very well, that this regime is not going to help them at all. The oil and gas and fertile land belongs to Al-Ahwaz. Other resources belongs to Balochistan and Azerbaijan and Kurdistan. They are in the center. They have nothing to give. They are stealing from us and exporting to you or any other countries anyway. So all we are requesting you is, please, if you don't mind, just take this seriously, deeply look at it, twice thinking, and then take any steps that you wish. Of course, you are free to do whatever you want. We can't, impose anything on any friend in any part of the world, but this is just a brotherly or fraternal, request from our side, who are suffering from thousands of problems. Imagine we are Ahwazi people, are the richest people of the Middle East. They live on less than $50 a day. Imagine who could live on less than $50 a day. It means 90 to 95% of our people are living under scratch, unfortunately. And the regime is fabricating against ASPLA, against the Arab Struggle Movement for the Liberation of Al-Ahwaz, and trying to just kill us to get rid of our activities. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for your valuable participation in this webinar, and wish you all the best and good luck. Thank you. Cheers.